Hello, I'm Dr. Garrett Boyer. Welcome to Gospel Minded, where we spend a few minutes each week talking about themes related to psychology, our emotions, our behavioral health, and we reflect on how these important topics are related to the gospel reading for each Sunday. Now, just like always, this isn't intended to be any sort of substitute for actually going to church or counseling, therapy, spiritual direction, if you're engaged in those sort of practices. But like we know so well, things of our mind, things of our psychology, and our spirituality so often go hand in hand, as we have observed these past many weeks and as we know from our experiences. Now, what is this? Where am I? I'm not in my home office like I usually am. I'm actually traveling this week, visiting my family in the rural part of the upper Midwest. It's beautiful here, as you can see. And as I looked out at this environment, it got me thinking, and I wanted to pose a question to you. Have you ever had it happen where something is going on in your life, and you're at church, and one of the readings, or perhaps the psalm, or maybe the gospel, just really speaks to you and seems to be written specifically for what's going on in your life right now, or really addresses what you're experiencing? I'm having that experience right now, and that's happening for me today because the gospel is from Mark. We're continuing in Mark, and Jesus is traveling to his home. So I want to read a little bit for you, and then we'll dive into some of the themes that I picked up on. So it's Mark chapter 6. It says this: He departed from there and came to his native place, accompanied by his disciples. When the Sabbath came, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who heard him were astonished. They said, "Where did this man get all this? What kind of wisdom has been given him? What mighty deeds are wrought by his hands? Is he not the carpenter, the son of Mary, and the brother of James, and Joseph, and Judas, and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us?" And they took offense at him. Jesus said to them, "A prophet is not without honor except in his native place, and among his own kin, and in his own house." So he was not able to perform any mighty deeds there, apart from curing a few sick people by laying his hands on them. He was amazed at their lack of faith. So that's the gospel reading for this Sunday, and just very neat to hear that gospel read in my home parish with people that I grew up with here in my hometown, this part of the country. Now, why do I think this is an important gospel and relevant to what you may experience in your life, what I'm going through now? It's funny to hear those words that the crowds spoke about Jesus. Who is this? Where did he come from? Where did he get this? I ran into some of my old teachers today while I was out and about town, and I bet at different times when they've seen me come home, perhaps they wonder the same thing about me. Now, I'm not equating myself at all with Jesus, but the truth of the matter is that in life, things end up looking a little bit different for us than perhaps when we're younger we would expect, or perhaps other people who knew us when we were younger thought life was going to look different for us. For example, I don't know that anybody when I was in grade school or high school expected that I would go on to have the kind of career that I've had, to do the kind of studying that I've done throughout the course of my life. I don't think people necessarily expected that from me based on my performance in school as a young person. So now when I'm home, perhaps it kind of takes some people by surprise that I don't fit into sort of the compartment perhaps that they had made in their mind for me when I grew up here. And I think that's just sort of a natural phenomenon of the human journey, that for all of us, things perhaps don't look the way that we expect, be it for ourselves or for other people. Do I have similar reactions when I run into somebody whose life I thought may have looked quite different, and here they are, either flourishing or perhaps not flourishing? We just want to be able to accept life for ourselves and others where it is. And this is where we're at in life. And thank God for that. Because whether you've really put your foot on the gas and experienced a ton of stuff and done all these wild things in life, some people have, whether you've been content to be calm and relaxed and settled and flourishing in that way, fine. Truth of the matter is that as we journey on through life, we're all having new experiences, learning new things, becoming, I hope, as we age, wiser, more intelligent in coming to know ourselves better, knowing our place in the world, and understanding the love that God has for us and who we are as human beings. So psychologically, there are a lot of theorists that talk about the importance of a spirit of gratitude and being able to cultivate this inner place of thanksgiving and gratitude for all the things that we have had happen to us in life, be they good or bad, for all the things that we have received. And boy, if this isn't connected to the spiritual life as well, this attitude of gratitude, as it were. Certainly spiritually, it's a useful practice, but psychologically too. And so now for me, here I am, I'm home, and I'm able to really reflect on where I've been, where I've come from, where I'm at, and boy, I've got a lot to be thankful for. And so for this week, it's been something that's really been on my mind to take note of all the good things that have happened to me, to pay attention to where I've come from, and now think about where I'm at, think forward about where I would like to be going, but then to identify those things in my life for which I'm grateful, for the good things, for the things that at the time did not seem so good, but taught me wisdom, gave me a spirit of hardiness, taught me toughness, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, physically. Regardless of where you've been or what you've done, you have grown, and there are things that have contributed to your development, to your growth, and those are things for which you can be grateful. So my challenge for you this week is to maybe each day take just a minute or two and think about what are the things for which you're grateful, perhaps even daily. We've been doing that with our children at home at the end of the day. What was something you were thankful for today? What was something you're grateful for? It's been a useful practice. Now, to transition just slightly, at the end of the gospel reading, we hear that the people are rejecting the Lord. Oh, well now, if that isn't just the most upper Midwest thing ever. You see one of my family members off in the distance. Thankful that my family is here making an appearance in this video. But I wanted to mention that at the end of the gospel, the people in town are sort of rejecting the Lord. They're saying, where did all of this come from? We can be thankful to God for the gifts that we've been given, for the way we've lived our life. We can reverence God and be conscientious of where we've come from. But not everybody is going to be grateful with us on our behalf. Not everybody is going to celebrate the victories that we have in our life. And that's a hard pill to swallow. We do our best to live our best life, put our best foot forward. And why would it be that sometimes people don't salute the Lord in gratitude for us, alongside us? Willie Nelson sang a song called That's Life, and one of the lines is, some people just get a big old kick of stomping on dreams. And that's sort of what's happened in the gospel today. There's this that's life moment where the Lord comes to his home, and look at all the things that he could share and do and teach, and the way that he could be with his kin. And yet he's remarking that he can't believe their lack of faith. And so it may be the case for you that when you are mindful of all the places you've come from, the places you've been, where you've made it to in life, there may be those who don't celebrate along with you, and that stinks. But that's one of those things that I think we can look at the example of the Lord to pick up and move on and drive on and accept it for what it is. That being said, the main message that I want to leave with you today is, regardless of what anybody else thinks about you and what you've accomplished in life, and where you've come from and what you've done, you yourself can be grateful, and you yourself can give praise and thanksgiving to the Lord for the gift of your life and how your life has unfolded and how you live your life. And we do well always, please God, to live our best life in a way that honors God and shows charity and kindness to our brothers and sisters, our friends, all around us. And so I hope that you found this helpful. There we go. More family and friends traveling here in the rural part of the upper Midwest. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for you, and I'm thankful to be doing this. So if you found this video helpful, useful, I hope that you'll hit like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next week. I'm Dr. Garrett Boyer. I'm staying gospel-minded. I hope you are too. Take care.